107. What does this number stand for? As the Global Gender Gap Report for 2020 admits, this number represents the number of years needed for Central Asia and Eastern Europe to achieve gender equality. In this report, we can find global gender equality rankings of 3 Central Asian countries. Out of 153 countries, Kazakhstan placed 72nd, Kyrgyzstan at number 93, and Tajikistan at number 137. This begs the question, why have these countries scored so poorly in terms of gender equality? What is the general state of women's rights in the region? This video will discuss the biggest challenges faced by Central Asian women today and how the current situation has been shaped by the region's modern history. Until the late 1980s, Central Asian women had considerable rights. Thanks to reforms introduced early in the Soviet period, many women were employed, had land rights, and a quota system in politics had been implemented. However, regardless of career status, women were still fully responsible for the household and childcare, thus hampering their capacity to become leaders in society. In the end, the emancipation of women couldn't be fully reached in Soviet Central Asia. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, negative changes in social welfare and political participation were introduced that rolled back much of the progress made during the Soviet era, pushing women back into their traditional roles. Nevertheless, Central Asian countries still ratified the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or CEDAW, Tajikistan in 1993, Kyrgyzstan in 1997, and Kazakhstan in 1998, all became part of the Beijing Platform for Action, requiring guarantees of gender equality in cooperation with civil society and other actors. Accordingly, gender-based policies and action plans have since been enacted. However, these plans have not always been effective. Central Asian women still face many challenges. One of the most serious of these is the problem of bride kidnapping. Despite laws criminalizing the practice, it is still common in Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. UN figures state that in 2018, 13.8% of girls under the age of 24 were victims of this phenomenon in Kyrgyzstan. In Kazakhstan, 5,000 women are kidnapped annually, according to women's rights organizations. Most cases of kidnapping result in rape. Girls and their parents do not report to the authorities because of gender norms and stereotypes. Secondly, early and arranged marriages. Although the legal age for marriage is at least 18 years old, unregistered marriages of underage girls still commonly occur. Despite legal punishments for those guilty of following this practice, many cases go unreported. For example, 7% of girls in Kazakhstan get married before the age of 18, according to the UN. Even for those over 18, societal pressures to marry before the age of 23 limits the education and career possibilities of many women. Thirdly, domestic violence, a global problem to which Central Asia is no exception. According to UN Women, in Central Asia and Europe, 1 in 5 women in Tajikistan, 1 in 5 women in Kazakhstan, and 1 in 3 women in Kyrgyzstan experience violence, primarily from their partners. However, instances are likely underreported due to economic dependence on abusers and fear of community judgment. Furthermore, women's rights demonstrations are frequently repressed in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, including the International Women's Day walks on the 8th of March. In some cases, participants of peaceful protests have been taken to police stations or have been attacked by local nationalist groups. The political participation of women is another major issue. Politics in Central Asia have long been perceived to be the domain of men. One example of a mechanism for increasing women's participation has been the 30% gender quotas implemented in Kyrgyzstan. As for Kazakhstan and Tajikistan, there are no quotas, although both countries have almost the same number of women in their parliaments as Kyrgyzstan. Last but not least, women's employment and the gender pay gap. The latest report by Women, Business and the Law shows that Central Asian countries have been struggling with providing equal employment terms and economic opportunities for both men and women. In regards to equal payment, Tajikistan has a law mandating equal pay, while in Kazakhstan, women make 31% less than men do, and in Kyrgyzstan, women earn 25% less. The report also highlights the issue of sexual harassment in the workplace and at educational institutions. As Khabar Asia reports, every fourth woman in Kyrgyzstan experiences harassment in the workplace, and every fifth female student faces harassment at educational institutions. Despite measures being taken to some extent by government agencies and civil society, women's rights are not fully respected and defended in Central Asia. Hence, there is still so much to fight for. Though they work through tight limitations, organizations, networks, initiative groups, and individual activists continue to promote gender equality, lobbying and reinforcing the current laws and eliminating social norms and stereotypes concerning women's gender roles. This clip was created with the information project Central Asiengrupperna, funded by Forum Syd. We work to promote a democratic Central Asia with a strong, active, and inclusive civil society that contributes to human rights being respected and social justice achieved. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or visit our page at www.centralasien.org. Thanks for watching.